Hello. As you can see, this is the week that I did last week for the 9th through the 15th. If you didn't see that plan with me, I'll go ahead and link it up here in a card. And the reason I'm showing this to you though, and starting this video like this, is because I've decided that this layout is not working for me. I realize I'm privileged in that I received this one in a collaboration, and then I also received a vertical. So I had that one kind of just sitting around waiting just in case this one didn't work out for me. If you hear any kids in the background, it's because I'm filming this on a Monday. They have no school today because it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'm not going to use the hourly planner this week, so this plan with me is going to be in my vertical. The reason why I decided the hourly layout was just not really working was that I found that even though I do like doing time blocking, I do have my daily duo. In the daily duo, I have the exact same time slots. When I plan this out in advance like this, as far as this is when I'm gonna do what, it kind of was really difficult for me to do because it felt like it kind of didn't give me the freedom to move things around. I don't know if that's a type A type thing where it's afraid to make mistakes. I don't know if you can tell if the camera's picking that up, but it did say right here, finish email, and I erased it because that ended up not being what I wanted to do with my time. I learned from this week using it and the week before, and then that very first time I used it, which that's also a different plan with me. I used it in December and I redated it. I can link that up here if you want to see that one. But just those 3 weeks alone helped me see that I would much rather prefer to just stick to here are the things that are happening on the days, and these are the tasks that I want to happen on each of these days, but I don't necessarily want to do the time blocking in advance. Having the hourly, it almost kind of made it to where I didn't want to use my daily planner because I'd already technically kind of hourly chunked it out. And if I were to show you my daily, you'd see that I didn't use it on some of these days because in my head I already knew what this said to do. And I actually still haven't yet done my weekly actions. So here's last week's the weekly actions. I did start to kind of go through and check off things, and I already put arrows on things that needed to get moved over, and I did do reflections, but I haven't yet set up my weekly actions for this week. So in this video, I'll probably go ahead and fill this out first, and then from here work on filling out my week spread. I do have a notepad on the side. I'm not going to show you it because I do have names and things on it, but I'll show you a blank page. This is the one that came in the winter surprise box. That's the one I just used to quickly put all the things in last night, just so that I wasn't starting the week off completely lost. I'll go ahead and stop talking right now, and then the rest might just be voiceover combined with music. It might be sped up. I don't know yet how I'm going to finish editing this video, but I just wanted to let you know that because of the kids around, I did want to talk for a few minutes first, but then go ahead and allow my kids to just do their thing without having to worry about their noise, since I said, they're home from school today because it is a no school day. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this and get going with this video. To start setting up the week, I went ahead and decided that I would use some stickers literally at the last moment. I initially thought I was going to just do highlighter and pen with the Moxie colors to match, but I don't know. I ended up at the very last second deciding to look through my stickers and see what I just felt like using that week. For the week of the 16th to the 22nd, I wasn't really fully in my MakseLife system in the sense that I hadn't yet fully set up my annual goals, and I was really just allowing January and the little bit of December where I had some extra pages of these to get back into the habit and routine of completing weekly actions and reflections. So the weekly actions were basically just based off just things that in general I had in each area of life going on. You can see that I have the 2023 goals and weekly reflections and actions under personal growth. So what I have been doing is putting my weekly actions together first and then setting up the week. So that's why you saw me lay down the stickers first and then come to my weekly actions page so that I can go through what all I wanted to complete in the week, and then I will go back over to my weekly spread and pop these items into the week, because once I've set this up, I don't want to return to this book. I just want to look at my weekly planner and then carry that over into my daily planner for like the day. And then I just look at my day planner every day and use that, and then go back to the week to figure out, what am I going to do today? What all is the schedule, and what do I want to focus on today that's based on, the weekly actions I set and that kind of thing. For this week, I had decided I would kind of headline the boxes on the side instead of across the top. Since I did use stickers to cover it up, I thought it was going to eat a little bit into my space, and I didn't have stickers. I didn't want to write on it, so it ended up working out really well, and I actually liked it, and I'll probably do it that way again. And the categories are personal, content, and other. I have used this layout format before. It was in 2021. I was in a softbound 8x10, which is a little bit bigger than this, and that tended to be the categories that worked out best for me, was to have all my personal things going across the first area, and then blog and email and YouTube stuff in the middle, followed by like home stuff in the other category. And then a lot of times I would use, right now it's soccer season, so I had the kids soccer schedule down in the bottom in the line section. But for in the past, I used to sometimes use it for the weather and mapping that out in advance. Although I think what I would do was I would map it out only like 3 days out, because the weather isn't as accurate if I kind of do like the whole week in advance, but that's what I would do. So on Tuesday the 17th, I wrote down podcasts because I was a guest host on a podcast recently It was recorded a couple weeks ago, but the episode finally aired on the 17th, and I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description if you're interested in checking that out. It was for Virtual Six Figure Mom podcast, and I spoke to Christina about self-care and planning and that sort of stuff. So if you are interested in hearing like my story as far as how I ended up becoming so passionate, I guess is a good word for it, about taking care of myself and encouraging others to do the same, then check that out. Within the first like 5 minutes, I'm explaining my story of how I hit rock bottom, and then a little bit about how I got there, and then you'll understand a little bit why I don't want to ever get like that again. So that's why I am adamant about scheduling out. These are the times that are for me, such as like my afternoon reset and blocking off time at the end of the day where I'm not using my phone, and just being aware of not wanting to overstimulate myself because of the stress that my body would be under. Just kind of trying to keep the levels, basically keeping myself at like a level, even playing field where I'm not like all over the place. And I've noticed over time that a lot of the things that I'm doing, especially with like a yoga practice, as stressful things happen in real life, because no matter how many things I do when it comes to practicing taking care of myself and taking breaks and things like that, that doesn't stop real life situations from popping up and stressful things happening. And it's kind of interesting how over time I've noticed how I react, or the lack of a reaction I have when things happen. So for example, if someone cuts me off driving, before I could feel like that rush of cortisol that happens, and like you get like angry and hot and you're real quick to like swear or something like that. But over time, like there's like this delay, and I think there's science behind it. So if you want to look it up, it's programmed me to like not instantly react and just go straight to this like panic, fight or flight state, because of practicing all the things that I do to keep my like stress levels way down. And then also, not only am I slower to react, the reaction is not as spiked. So I come down from a stressful experience much faster. I can go from like, something happening, and then really quickly, like within minutes, maybe just, it's almost like nothing happened. I don't feel anything. So that's definitely been one of the benefits. Yeah, that's all for this week's setup. I really like using it. Much better than the hourly so far. I think it's definitely working better for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed and you want to see more functional planning videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.